Right, welcome back everybody. We've been out, we've collected a few mowers. Let's take a look in the van and see what we got. Right then, so as you can see, we've got a Honda Izzy. I bought this one as a runner. This is just a manual push one. I bought this Honda Izzy here, self-drive. I bought this as a non-runner. The chap said it was stored facing carb down, and ever since that it hasn't run again, so that's probably going to be a carb off and strip. So this is a self-drive. They're both 16 inches, and at the back there we've got a McCulloch push mower with the old reliable Briggs & Stratton engine on there, and again that was sold to me as a non-runner. So we've got two non-runners here and one runner, but we're going to take them around in the garden and see if we can get the other two running as well. So as you can see, these are good solid deck on these. Quite common for them to rot out, even the paint's still on them. I say this one had a bit of damage up here, but again, if you remember last week, I bought a whole one of these with a rotten deck, so we've got plenty of spares. And the chap did say it's had a couple of new cables on it as well, so you can see it's right there. Look.
That one's jet washing the old grass bag, should come up alright though.
And we got this one as well. And to be fair, they're pretty bulletproof, them engines, so I can't see nothing wrong being with that really. So we're going to head round the back now. I think I might have a bit of petrol, if not, Soppy might have some.
Which means he's going to be nicking my bloody petrol again. Unbelievable.
Right then, so we're back round the back now. I say this one was a runner, but we're just going to check the oil in it before we go anywhere. So you don't wind this in, you just push that in. And that oil bang on point, it doesn't look too bad. But I say this will be getting for a full strip down. We'll do a powder coating job on this again, so it will have full engine service on it. So the oil's alright. Just check for petrol. Yeah, got a quarter of a tank in there. Smells a bit funny. So we'll just turn that fuel on and we'll go for a fire up. Right then, so as you can see, that one did start first pull, and it does sound lovely, but the throttle speed isn't working. It's operating down this end, but it isn't doing what it should be doing, so we'll have a look at that. That won't be in this video though. I'll say this will have its own dedicated video, that. But we'll just check the oil first before we go for a start up. This one, I don't know. I was told it didn't run. The chap didn't try it when we was there, but he did tell me it was tipped on its side, carb face down, so I should say we've probably got oil in the carburettor in places where it shouldn't be, and I've just wound it in, look, too busy talking. And with that wound in, it's just on the bottom, so there's definitely a low of oil on here, but there will be enough in there just to see if we can start it. Any juice? No, juice is a bit low, so we'll put a bit in there. We'll stick that fuel tank on. I'll just see if I've got any petrol left. Right, so I've got a bit of petrol left. I haven't had to nick Soppy's yet, so let's stick that in there. Won't go too mad. That's enough. So obviously, with the oil being low, we do know the oil's gone somewhere. There we go. So I'll give it a go. I don't think that's doing nothing. That recoil's a bit sticky. Right, so as you can see, we're getting nowhere with that. I'm still not convinced this kill switch is releasing properly, but I just want to check the spark plug first, just to see what the situation is with that. Well, it's wet. Just give that a put over while that's out. So you can see there, it don't look too bad, that plug, to be fair. So I'm just going to dry that off, put a bit of heat on it with the old blowtorch, and we'll stick a bit of fluid down there and see if we can get it to fire. Right, so I'm just going to put a bit of squirt in that head there. I've cleaned the plug and just warmed it up with the blow lamp. So hopefully we should hear this fire now. If this isn't working right. Right, so I wasn't convinced with this handle set up here, so what I've actually done is I've just put a cable tie there at the minute, just to pull that off, because I don't think it's releasing far back enough to take it off of the kill switch. So I've pulled that right back now, and I'm just going to put another squirt in there. So I won't be running this for long if it does fire up, because I say it's pretty low on oil. So let's give it a go, stick it on choke. Don't need to hold that back now because it's already done. Right, so I did fire, but I don't know if you heard then on the end, it's got a very bad knock into that. So I say I've got a Honda Izzy there that was is a runner, but the deck is completely rotten on that. So maybe this has been run without oil in it, and that's why it's got that horrible knock to it. It's not a big issue if the engine is terminal. I say I did pick this up for scrap as a non-runner. I could swap all the stuff off of that one onto this one. So let's just take a look underneath. Right, so as you can see, the belt is actually off, so it wouldn't have drove anyway if it was going to run. But I can see here that it may have hit something in the past, because it's got that aluminium washer there, and I've not seen that on an Izzy before. That's not standard, that, as far as I'm aware anyway. So maybe there is a bit of a story behind this mower, and rather than it's just been left on its side. So I say, because it's not, it wouldn't have been driving. It's obviously had some extra washer put on there. But the main thing is we've got a solid deck. That's what we wanted. Obviously that was the issue why it weren't firing, because it wasn't releasing the brake from the kill switch. So we've sorted that out. So not that it's any good, because it does sound like it's knocking quite bad. So we will revisit this one in another video, and we might try and just change the carb on it, clean it out, put a bit of oil in it and see what the knocking is all about, see if it is still knocking. But yeah, so it does run. 2 out of the 3 so far running. I don't reckon that's going to be a big issue. I reckon that's going to fire up, not a problem. So let's check the oil in it, check to see if there's any fuel, and we'll go for a fire up on that then. Right, so we'll just take this out, give that a wipe before we start. That one's bang on the mark, and that's some lovely clean oil in there, so I'm happy with that. Again, this one don't look like it's done a lot of work. Don't feel like there's any fuel in it. Primer seems alright. Tank's bone dry. So let's put a bit of fuel in. And I've had it before where I've bought a mower and people said it won't run, and you've just checked the fuel and there's nothing in it. So is this going to be as easy as that? So right, so that's priming lovely now. It'd be nice if this fires up, wouldn't it? Because this one don't need much. It's a good solid deck. I just want a bit of a polish up, a little bit of a service, and this one will be good to go. Nice plastic box on it. That'll polish up nicely, that. So let's give it a whirl. Right, so let's just give it 3 more primes. 1, 2, 3. Pull that up there. Pull that there. Let's see if it goes. And let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. So how about that? Another one, just a bit of fresh fuel in it, and she's fired straight into life. So what I might do is in this video, obviously we know they both run, they've got their issues. That one needs a bit of a speed up on the throttle, and the control speed needs to be looked at. This one, engine may be terminal, not too sure yet. It'll be another video. I say them two will have their own videos because they will be getting stripped down and fully powder coated and having the full shebang. This one, I think what we'll do is we'll carry on with this one in today's video because it's going to be a straightforward one. It's going to be require no painting or nothing. So what we'll do is we'll get it all cleaned down, give it a quick service. I don't think I'm going to do the diaphragm because that sounded alright, that did. No point messing about with it if it's sounding fine. We'll check the air filter. All it will look good, so maybe we'll have a look at the plug as well and take a look underneath at the blade. Let's put them two away and have a look at this one, and hopefully we can get this ready for sale today. Right, so as you can see, I've just pulled the mower up on the table now. We'll just take the old HT lead off. That's the original plug because you can see the black overspray on there. So this mower is a 2011, so it's been in a good while, that plug. It's been in about 12 years. So let's have a look at this. Yes, it's not the worst. It's not too bad. We'll get away with giving that a clean up, that one. So we'll come back to that in a minute. I say I'm not going to change this carb. In fact, that looks relatively new, that. Look at that carb, it looks quite new inside there. And that sealing washer, that looks like it's new as well. So maybe this has had a bit of work done to it. Because I say that's really clean, that side of it. Maybe it has had a service in its time, but they've not done the spark plug. They've maybe just done the filter because the oil's good in it as well. So maybe they've just done the filter and the carburetor. It's lovely and clean in there, nothing at all on them walls. Normally you get a bit of oily gunk in there. I'm happy with that, so this is going to be a nice little quick service. I'll just bung a bit of tissue in there for now and we can give this a bit of a clean round. So I'm just going to bung that in there for now, keep any debris out of there. So I'm just going to give the machine a bit of a spray down. I'm just using a bit of this muck off stuff. Quite good stuff, I use this on the motorbikes. So we'll just give this a good spray all over. Get it nice and soapy. I say I've seen some people, when I've seen mowers for sale online, they give them what they call a service and a for sale job, and they just don't even bother cleaning them. It just looks terrible. If you're trying to get some good money for your mower, it's all in the presentation as well. It's not just saying that it's had a service, because sometimes I've had them come to me where people have bought them and they've said that it's been serviced, and the state they bought them to me in, and they hadn't been serviced, and you can just see that the mowers had no love or nothing at all. So It's just all in your presentation and your work at the end of the day. I didn't need to go and give this a bit of a clean, but if I'm trying to sell something, I want it looking right and looking nice so people see I take pride in my work, you see. Because if I went to sell a car, I wouldn't sell it filthy. Some of you may have seen in the past where I actually do go to the extreme of just getting the drill with a polishing pad on it. That only is for certain mowers. I won't be doing that for this mower because I say it's not really a high-end mower, but we just want it looking nice for sale. So I'm just taking all this surface dust off, and then on your plastics, as you've seen us before, you can use the old Pledge Revive It, which is really good. Gives you that nice shine. Some people do like to use WD-40, and I've done it in the past myself, but it leaves like a residue on it, the WD-40, and normally when you go and start the mower up the first time you start it up, you get all the little bits of offcuts of grass, dusty grass, and then they all stick to that, so I try to avoid using that nowadays. So already this mower is looking 100 times better than it did from when I got it. So let's give you a quick look round it. As you can see, I say it's not perfect. It's got a few little scabby marks along there. Nothing major. I've seen a lot worse. I'd normally touch them in, but I say there's hardly anything on this mower, so I probably won't go that far. It is a used second-hand mower at the end of the day. You've got to bear that in mind. There is a bit of a paint scratch there. Again, nothing major. But already that mower is 100 times better than what condition I received it in. I could happily sell that as is like that now and not worry. It's just a presentation at the end of the day. So while we're down this end, let's quickly just whip this plug out and see what the score is with that. I say it did start, I think it was first or second pull, wasn't it, at the beginning of this video, and not any issues at all. All we had to do was put some petrol in. Again, that plug ain't too bad. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. I say it is the original Briggs & Stratton one, the Champion. So I think I'm going to go with that again. Why change it if it's not broken? So I will give it a little bit of a clean up though. So I'm just going to head in the body tunnel now, give that a clean up. I'll give the air filter a clean up, and we'll come back and we'll refit that. And to be honest, we'll have a quick look underneath, and this mower will be ready up for sale then. Right, so as you can see, that plug's come up lovely now. I've even scraped the old black paint off of there as well, so it looks good as new, that plug. So we'll just push that back in there like that, minding not to cross thread it. This hand. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean out. Seeing as we've cleaned the filter, getting the old dirty grass residue out of there. Just clean it underneath and all. This air filter is already pre-oiled, so don't need to worry about that. So we can stick that back in there, just like that. Get that casing, give that a bit of a clean. That I want to introduce none of that to the filter. There we go, look at that. There we go. So we can get that, get our screw. We can take that back out now, so we've not put any crap in this carburetor. Just get get that sat on there lovely doubly. Wind that screw in. So we've already checked the oil in this before we did the first start on it. We've put some fresh petrol in it because the tank was bone dry, so maybe that was why it wasn't going to start, because the chap didn't have no petrol in it. See, people think when they put it away at the end of a season, they get it out the next season and the petrol's still in there. He's here, look.
Filming me, filming you.
What do you think to this then?
What?
It's a goer. He sold it to me as a non-runner.
Right.
There was no petrol in it.
You're joking?
Put petrol in, I think it went first or second pull.
It's cleaned up alright as well.
So,
what you got to do to it then? Just service it, or are you going to service it, or?
well, I've just cleaned the plug on it.
Right.
It's the original plug.
It's a Champion.
Yeah, it fired up on, so I ain't going to change that.
No, this is just a quick inner and outer then, really.
Air filter was clean, so I'll just give that a blowout. Looks like it's had a new carb on it.
Pull cord's alright as well.
So oil's been done on it, so it's just a clean up job now.
What you call a quick flip, folks. I've got to go, folks, because I'm doing the bumper on my video for my ST220, and you can see that on the Retro Restore channel. Get over there and have a look at it. See you in a minute.
Never heard of that. Right, so I think this is as far as I'm going to go with this mower. So the only tool that I've needed literally was the screwdriver to take the air filter off and the socket for the spark plug. So didn't need to take the carburetor off, because I say that it fired up, not a problem, no hunting issues. So if it's not broken, don't fix it, as they say. So we're going to drop this on the floor now. We'll put the HT lead back on, and we'll give it another fire up and make sure it's still running as we should be. So we'll give it another blast. I did also check underneath. I didn't show you that on camera. I forgot about that, sorry. But it was all fine and dandy under there. I say it doesn't look like it's done a lot of work, this mower, so let's give it a go. 1, 2. So there you go. So there was a little hunt at the beginning there. That's obviously because I did have the mower on its side earlier. So it's cleared itself out now. But as you can see, this is a lovely mower. I actually paid £10 for this as a non-runner. And I say all it did take was a bit of fuel in the tank, and Bob's your uncle, she started straight up. And this is what I mean. See, when you do a first start on this, you get all the dust and that. And if I'd used WD-40, that would have all stuck to that. But because I've just used a nice cleaning soap, it come off nice and easy there. But I say WD-40 does leave an oily residue, so I try and stay clear of that. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So that's that. Once that's sold, we'll have paid for them 2 Izzies and itself. So this mower has just basically got me 2 free Izzies and a little bit of profit from that one as well. So we'll just take a quick look in the log in the polytunnel, and I've still got this Honda in there, Mountfield, sorry. It's the Mountfield with the Honda 160 engine on it. And I did actually start filming a little bit of a video on this about the drive, and I'd actually deleted the footage by accident when I was editing one of them other videos. So what actually is, if you remember rightly, you can still see now, to be fair, that there's a lot of slack on this cable. There's not so much now. But what the problem was, this had actually unhooked from the gearbox side underneath in here, where you can't see just behind here. It actually unhooked off of the gearbox, and I did actually replace it and put it back on again. Well, I didn't replace it. I did stick the hook back around the linkage where it needed to go, and as you can see, it is operating now as it should. But we're still not getting drive. Well, we are getting drive, but the wheel is spinning very, very slowly. And I've tried the adjustments on it and all that, but I don't know if I'll be able to show you. I can't show you really because I ain't got the tripod in there. But once you pull this handle up and you lift the wheel up, it sounds like the gearbox is a bit worn, because you can actually turn it when the wheel should be locked. You can actually turn it and you can hear them clicking. So it could be a worn gearbox on it. I haven't looked at gearboxes, see if you can buy replacement internals, because you can actually split these gearboxes. There is actually screws around there to split it as well, so it might be a route of looking at a rebuild kit, or if it's cheap enough to replace it. So, but I don't want to start ordering parts until we've actually had a look in there. So this one will be coming up on the channel as a full restoration job on this. It's fully complete, and it'll make a nice mower. It's a really wide cut, this one, 51cm cut that is. So yeah, it'll make a good mower, it'll make a good profit. We've still got the Piaggio NRG here. Hopefully I might be doing a video for this coming out on Saturday. I bought myself a new seat cover. It's not a genuine one, it's just like a piece of cover basically. So we're gonna have to see what we can do with that, because these covers alone are about £89 I think, just for a cover. Or to buy a seat, it comes from Italy, and you're looking at over 120 odd quid plus your delivery fees on top. So I ain't going down that route. We're gonna just rip this off and have a go at recovering it. It can't look any worse than that. We'll get this interior panel back on hopefully tomorrow. I've just got to do a little bit of plastic welding on it, and hopefully we might get a bit of paint on that as well. So there is not a lot left to do on it. The wheels need to be come off and painted. The rear wheel keeps going down, so I'm not sure if we've got a beading issue on the tyre, if it wants reseating, or if we've got a slow puncher, but it goes down within a day, so you can't hear no hissing or nothing. When it's off the bike, the wheel, maybe we'll drop it in a bit of a tub of water if I can find a tub big enough, and see if we can see any air leaks coming. So just got to stick the rear lens on. Not a lot to do on it really, so hopefully within the next month this should be finished, and we can get that out and sold hopefully. Really nice little bike, that drives lovely. So I think on that little bombshell, we're going to leave it here for this little video, and hopefully on Saturday you might see a video on this Piaggio NRG. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. And also don't forget, link down below for the eBay store, not just for merch anymore. We're still doing the merch, but we're also doing the tin plate signs, and they'll be coming up on the website hopefully in this next week or so. We've actually had an order for 10 signs. They went out to shipped off down to London, so really happy with that. We're getting a few orders coming in. I say this was just a personal design for someone, and they wanted 10 of them, so things are starting to move now. We're just starting to get suppliers fitted up and all that, and hopefully we can supply you with a sign sometime soon. Until next time, we'll see you about.